So if I'm going to do something, or if somebody has done something and he thinks I cannot do it, I always say I'm fucking Nekambuza, I'll do it.
My God. Motivation, eh?
Yeah, so it's kind of like something that rocks into my mind. It gives me either to do it. It's like I normally say, I might not, if I agree to do something for you, I'll do it to my best of my abilities, because other people are going to see my work. They will not know if you've not paid me or not, because they will judge me. I always want to be judged. If I fail on something, let it not be my fault. Let it be the system that you put into place. But I would always give it 100. So what I normally do, because I always try to do the impossible mentally. So what I do is, I'm fucking Nekambuza, I'll do it. Or even if I'm trying to be like, if a girl is disrespecting you, I'll be like, nah, I'm fucking Nekambuza. I can't deal with this shit.
Episode 9.
Welcome to WAWULIDDE. What episode is this?
WAWULIDDE the Talk Show, episode 9.
Cool. Welcome to WAWULIDDE episode 9 talk show with me, Neka, and I'm here to talk to the big boys. He's called Easy Sniper. He hasn't introduced himself yet, but we're about to find out.
Buckle up. You're most welcome to WAWULIDDE the Talk Show. Dive into these fascinating lives of individuals from all walks of life. My name is Ahmed, and definitely my partner Karim. And today we are honored to have Mr. Shafik
Neka. It's okay, Neka is easier. There are a lot of Shafiks, but there's one Neka.
So for episode 9, we shall be having Mr. Neka with us here, a voiceover artist, an MC, and you will get to know him better. So you're most welcome to the show.
Oh, thanks. I should talk about myself.
You should.
No. Okay.
That's what Karim was coming in.
Mr. Neka. Actually, I've never had a person being called Neka.
Actually, Neka is a short form of my name. I am called Nekambuza.
Nekambuza.
Yeah.
Shafik.
Nekambuza. Shafik. Okay.
Naturally, since you told me to talk about myself, I do a lot of things. I would say I'm a multimedia marketing person, from strategy to doing a lot of things. I'm head of brands and sustainability currently for the biggest media house in the country. But then I'm also, I don't know, if I'm coming through. I'm also a voiceover artist. That is what most people know.
Yeah.
Most people know my name, know my voice more than
your face.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah, it's like that. And I do radio. I do show presenting as well. I do a couple of things. But today I'm here for the voiceover bit. So yeah.
So you're most welcome to WAWULIDDE Talk Show. And by the way, so it's a pleasure. But for those people that have been hearing the voice and they don't know the person,
This is the face.
Yeah, so this is the face. Mr. Neka is here. So this is WAWULIDDE Talk Show. So, but me also getting to know you, I knew you as like a voiceover artist. So, but I've also like reading somewhere, I've read like you also, there's some position you hold like at NRG Radio. So
no, I was there for a while, and then I was there for a while, like the first year when they came in, and then
So what position was that?
No, I was a business strategy manager, but then also head of special projects at Energy Radio for a full year. That is between 2023 and 2024. Yeah. Yeah. Before that, I was at Next Media as a brand manager as well. And then now I return to Next Media again as head of brands and sustainability. Yeah.
So before we all go to the voice of an artist, first tell us who's Neka Shafik like? How do you get to be the voice of an artist like?
How do I get?
Yeah.
I actually never had a passion. It was more of because naturally I'm actually passionate about acting.
Really?
Yeah. I'm very passionate about acting.
Oh.
Yeah, when I was younger, like 12, 13, I had a cousin who was into the Uganda bit, so I used to act around with him. So when they bring back those old movies, between that voice and this one, they're completely different. Because I was young then. Yeah, I'm passionate about acting. So those days in Uganda, we didn't have a lot of content to consume. Growing up, I'm a 1995 guy, so right now I'm currently 29. But growing up, we didn't have a lot of content. So we used to even like the ads that play. Like we would recite ads that actually play. Like if it's like, but for fun, because that's what was on TV at the time. It was consumable content. But I never thought, because I did business administration, majored in accounting. So by graduation, I'm actually a business major and an accountant, if I go by that. But how? So I always wanted, I was pitching, there's an era whereby TVs were coming up and all that. And I was in a high school vacation. I was coming from Form 6, and then, that lag. And I think there were a couple of TVs, so I decided to move around. But I used to like writing concepts for TVs. I never knew that I would end up working for media houses, but I always was like, what, in my free time, if I'm at campus, I'll be on TV, so I would write concepts. And so I would go to pitch and stuff like that. So along the way, I go to, as I'm pitching my voice to people, I go to a marketing agency. I was pitching an idea. So this guy tells me, you're pitching this, but you're actually good. You have a very nice voice. Can you actually start voicing over? And then I'm like, because I just started campus, so I was like, yeah, it's cool. I still remember the company. They used to sit at Kingdom Kampala before they established that. There were like different segments. I think it's one of the companies of Ruperega anyway. So that guy was called Roy. I was Kenyan. So yeah, he guided me how to write scripts and stuff like that, how to write TV concepts at that particular time. And then he had other documentaries he was doing, so he gave me to some studios, like, test out this guy to do videos. So I ended up testing. I ended up going there, and I'm voicing. They give me transport for money. But then, lucky enough, not to just brag, I was an actor, because I've watched a lot of movies as an actor. I had this whole background in my head. So me reading a script and trying to understand it was easy for me. But this happens in business. At that particular time, the first demo was in the beginning. The others were actually work being used. Yeah. I had no idea. Sorry, I also forgot to switch on my phone. But anyway, at the beginning, and and so the guy who was recording me told me, but because we used to do it regularly. But me, I was a kid at campus, so I didn't care. So he gave me, at that time,
took it that serious.
I think this is 2015, 2014. Yeah, so if you give me 50K for transport money, I'm still good.
Yeah.
You get like still good. So, but we're doing more of short videos, profiles of guys when they have conferences. And then, so they give you a 50K here and there. And then, that's the first thing I started. And then I realized we actually get paid. No, I went back to pushing my, because I wanted to be like, I'm at campus, but then maybe I can work on a TV or something like that. So I kept on pushing concepts. Now, along the way, I would like to call him my anchor being. I don't know if you guys believe in that. A person God puts in your path to either open the door or to actually help you.
Or like guide you.
Yeah, exactly. So be that first step. So I met a gentleman. There was a marketing agency called JWT. I was trying to pitch for sponsorship for our show. Because at that time I met Bush Baby and told me, because I had a very crazy idea.
Bush Baby.
Yeah, I had a very crazy idea. It was at that time Urban TV. I had a crazy idea, but it required a lot of fans. Then I don't know if he was just trying to push me away or he liked the idea. But by the way, right now we're very, 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 very close. So at that time, was still managing Urban TV. I don't know if you remember that time when Urban TV was very, very good. And he told me, you know what? Your idea is great, but it needs a lot of funding. First, get sponsors. Yeah, because it was a crazy idea. Actually, we never executed it up to now. So I was like, cool. So I went out to talk to my guys. We got different business cards. Remember my campus, so I might decide every time I go to town, then I'll go back. At that time, I didn't know how it all works, but crazy idea, I'm just pushing. And as I'm pitching, guys walk in. As they're walking in, guys stop. They stop, they're listening to the voice. This tiny kid at that time, I was tiny, man. I don't know what happened afterwards, but yeah, I was a little bit tiny, young, and then these guys walk in. They hear a tiny kid having a very deep voice. What's going on? So they go, they come back. They first listen to me. Then I fast pause. They're like, no, continue talking. And yeah, they actually had my voice. I was like, have you ever done this before? And I'm like, not really. I've done something, but for videos and what, I'm not like literally doing it. So then the guy takes my number. He's called Joel Katavazi right now. We kind of like created that bond. So him taking my number that particular time, and they took my number, but I still started staying work with this studio that this guy is sending me to. Because one thing about, if you're good at something, even if you work for somebody for a little time, they'll always refer to you, even if the client who brought you there is not the client. Was this guy I was working with who's Sempala kept on giving me other gigs from other guys who were doing documentaries. So every time, because it was a videography and photography studio, so they would get like different clients, international clients. Yeah. So he would always call me. So this guy Joe takes my number. I'd be home one day at campus, back to my room. I don't know what I was doing. Probably I was watching porn, but I don't remember. But I know I was chilling. Yeah, but I was chilling back home. And then Joe calls. And I was like, hey, but I'd set the number. I was like, hey, because I was like surprised. I saw the number now. I'm like, this guy has finally called. Hey, I'm Joe, can you come tomorrow at what? At JWT, and then we want to do a demo for it. It was still Vodafone. I'm like, I'm game. I'm cool. I'm cool. I go. And now I go, because this is the fun part where I used to enjoy my job a lot. Because you know, when you're young, you're 19, going to 20, the whole world is more. You're just seeing it before the bills come in. Yeah. So I was just riding the wave. So he calls me. And then I go to, there was a studio called First Love. First Love have been around for a while, and they have they've done a lot of ads over the years. So there's this guy called Nick. Nick has ever been in the States. He's old. He has a very beautiful accent. So I was supposed to read, to read an ad. So when he was directing me and he read it well, in my mind, I was like, why did they bring me?
This guy is already good.
No, he was very good at it. And then when you hear a person, you're like, oh, this is the sound I've been hearing on Airtel. This is the sound I've been hearing. Like, you get that. And I'm like, interesting. So I read the ad. I practiced with that ad. I go back home. And I kept the number. So once in a while, I'll check on them. I'll be like, hey, Joe, what's up? So I sent him the stuff. I showed him like different proposals. So he guided me a little bit. But this is a campus. Now, what he did, that's what I'm saying, is that an anchor guy for my life. He got my number and gave it to different studios around.
At no cost.
No cost. Right now, we're actually like brothers.
Wow.
Yeah, over the time.
So good.
Yeah, so that's why I always call him my anchor being, because every path, like, he was there. So after him giving my number to different studios around who were doing ads, from Swangs to Fast Love to Web Records, because these are some of the biggest guys, brands, out there, and at that particular time. So yeah, and then those guys started calling me, and I became a regular. I used to enjoy working with Swangs, not because Swangs is Swangs, yes, but because at the campus time, because those days they used to be in Muyenga. So in Muyenga, and I used to study at KIU. So I would just walk.
Slow.
It was so easy.
So I would just walk and then go to Bienga. And so even if they could give you transport money, but that particular time,
treat properly.
I would just walk. So, but it has been an experience. And then fast forward, after campus, I was being a junior copywriter for Joel as well. And then we worked for a different company as well together. And then I started learning audio production along the way. This is when I was like 21. Wow. So I started learning audio production, and but I was still doing my concerts and what. And as I learned from these different marketing guys, that became my friends along the way. And as a person, I would see myself beyond the production part. That's why it's very funny that most people know me as a voiceover artist, but then I do a lot of things in the marketing industry. So yeah, I became a junior copywriter for him. And then voila, there was a studio that opened up. So I started interning on that studio. I started learning how the things move. And being in that process, you get to meet a lot of different people, met a lot of different producers, met a lot of different people who are doing amazing work. And then I also became a producer. The ad that I always say established me, that I like, was the first time MTN Pulse was coming in the country, was cking. had kicked off. That was in 2017 because I produced and voiced everything up to the end.
Wow.
Because I remember Michael Fingers had done, I think it was Michael Fingers or cking, had done the audio part. I think it was cking. I mean, one of the two, but they were very, very good producers as well of jingles. For those guys who actually know this type of things of advertising, there's what they call jingles. Jingles are kind of like music that you hear and then you like enjoy, all those type of things. Yeah. So yeah, they recorded the audio bit, but then me, I had to produce now the ads. And that project fully fell on me. One, as an audio producer and as a voiceover artist. So I was doing two variations of the voices. The reason why I like it was because I was doing two variations. I was doing a high-pitched voice and then a low-pitched voice. So that for me was more of because I got accreditation from different producers. But like, yeah, we liked how you produced those ads. So yeah, now I jump. So fast moving forward, like as a person, me, I'm always wanting to like always evolve. 2018. Now I do this from 2017 to 2018, voiceover, producer, project coordinator, of course. As you're in the system, you get to learn different people. And so somebody approached me and told me, you know what? Next Media is actually opening up a radio station. Actually, it was Rudende. And you kid, you're so young, because at that time I think I was like, what, 23, 2017, I think I was like 20 to 23. I think I was 2018, I was 23. So in October and September, I go to NBS, Next Media, to try out this thing of radio. See, because Rudende recommended me and stuff. So I go there, and I was like, no, you know what? I have somewhere I work, but I can do a show over the weekend. And it's cool. So when I met these guys, and they were listening in, I had a problem that they could solve, which was the voiceover bit, because I was already doing it. They were like, no, instead of the radio show, what if you become one of our voiceovers? Yeah, they would be like, yeah, what if you can come and do it, and then, yeah, that's how I signed up with NBS to be its official voice for the last now 6 years, because this is 2018 October, so yeah, roughly 6 years.
So all these commercials that be going on NBS, what? That's your voice?
Yeah, that's me.
Wow. Like, but my God. Like NBS Sports, NBS. What?
No, we have different voiceovers, but I take the main channel and I take the main channel, which is NBS. Okay, the flagship, because all the channels are doing great. I take the flagship brand, which is NBS, and then the rest of the ecosystem of Next Media. But each particular brand has different voiceovers attached to them.
Okay. So I want us, you take us a bit back, because you say like growing up, you see a commercial on TV.
Yeah, I would just
then
do
you say, wow. Then you also
no, just do it out of
imitating.
fun, because like I said, content those days was was limited.
Yeah.
You would see a blue band ad, play around
So
and
what
around.
was that commercial that really hyped you as a kid? Like whenever it came on TV, or
It
what?
wasn't even about voicing. It was a commercial because it was very funny. I think it was called Odomos. Like
Oh,
was it-
the mosquito.
for the
yeah,
mosquito.
yeah, because up to now it even rings my bell. Yeah. Odomos, the guy that has jingles. Odomos. Yeah. It was interesting for me up to now. Like if they ask me, remember. But then there's a commercial that we used to like. It was shot in South Africa about Guinness. It was called Michael Power. Michael Power Guinness. It would be like a movie going on, and Michael Power jumps. So those are the kind of commercials I used to like. Yeah, but there have been good commercials over the years that people. But Odomos always rings into my mind. Yeah, but then of course we had an era of very good copywriters when we had the WAWULIDDE. WAWULIDDE had crazy ads.
Do you remember that time when they brought in Airtel Money? That time they
Mr.
made
Money.
a good commercial for Airtel Money.
The Mr. Money guy who had
Mr. Money, where, like a
and
guy
red coats.
made out
that
of
guy?
money.
I don't remember that guy, but it's cool if they had them.
No, actually, it was actually a money. Like it was money wrapped out
Like,
together, then put
They
together.
were introducing-
the guy who was wearing the money thing, like 50K notes in the air. No, that was a good campaign.
By the
That was a
way.
good campaign. Like you see in marketing, mascots always work.
Oh,
That's why you see Bosco managed to work very well. The MTN one. Lucky enough, I happened to be the voice of Bosco.
Wow.
Oman Rafiki did he did the song, the lyrics, And then I think it was produced by a new trick, which is cking. Yeah, so it was a set. And then the video, of course, was shot by Swang's Avenue.
So it was your voice.
No, the ad. Like Bosco, you too can live life a better way on MTN Mall.
Wow. My God.
So
This
yeah.
guy is too good as well. So, like, you said, like a tiny boy. Had you ever dreamt of saying, like, you'd be earning from being a voiceover artist?
No. Acting, yes. Voiceover, no.
So
Are you pursuing any acting?
Because I have like too many things I'm doing. Yes, I am going to go back into acting. I did a little bit, but campus days. But I'm going to go back. I just need a role that doesn't require me to always be there. But of course, the industry is just picking up. It has been a struggle because I've been through the circles of acting, guys, even behind the cameras. It has not been very lucrative. So whoever is doing it right now has been mainly doing it out of passion, not the money part. Yeah. So it requires you when you've settled, and then you're like, yeah, kawa. Yeah, but I'm going to go back into acting. Any director who's out there watching, yeah, I'm ready. We just need to talk, and then we fit into the schedule.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've talked about documentaries somewhere in your speech. Take us back. Do you know there's documentaries where there are animals on natural world?
No, I haven't gone that international, but yeah.
Okay, which documentary have you done?
Most guys who actually come here to see how orphans are working, how refugees are working. They're more of those type of documentaries, yeah. Or when companies are actually building, telling their story for years and stuff like that. Like there's one I'm doing for coffee. Somebody's doing. I'm going to do it after this. Somebody's introducing some coffee thing in Dubai. So it's more of company best like that.
So they give you the geography only.
No, they give me the script.
They tell you what to say.
Yeah.
The script is written, then you just have like to produce it yourself. Like you read.
No, you give me the script. It depends on your arrangement. You might have a studio, you might have where you're working from, and then I come and find the script there and I do it from there. Or you might just send me and then I send you the audio.
Yeah, so now asking for the video guys, because I'm also in that video business where we get like a voiceover artist there. So if someone doesn't have a studio and it's all on you, they just give you their script.
No, that's why I'm saying me I can send because I have studios everywhere.
So now, how much would you charge?
No, it depends on how big the script is. Because I have a red card, but then also the pages and what that come to play. A 2-minute video, and I'm reading all the 2 minutes. I have to check my red card because I do have a manager, but normally 1 minute, if it's a documentary that will stay forever, and you don't have a studio. If you don't have a studio, we'll go for 2 million because you don't have a studio, so I'll charge you studio time. And then, of course, since you just want the voice, we go around. That's me. Some other guys are way lower, some other guys are way up. So it depends on which level you're on. Yeah. So yeah, around 1 million if I'm just coming to your studio because it's a short video documentary. Yeah, but in life, tutesa. Because there's certain guys I actually still do work at a less price because they were there.
They're also returning clients.
Yeah, exactly. So, for example, there's a guy who's actually going to give you a documentary today, even next month. I cannot charge you the same thing as I'm charging a one-off guy. It's a little bit different.
Guy comes get a big brand.
Yeah, but also depends on the brand.
We don't charge them according to how they come, right?
Like I said, the two taser. Yeah, because we need to, because sometimes I know that either the client's budget is very, very less and it's affecting you because I've been in all circles. I've been on the client side, I've been on the videography side, I've been on the production house side, I've been on the voiceover side. So there are some clients who are very, very cheap, regardless of how big their brand is. I've actually gotten paid more by guys who are in the informal sector than the guys who are in the formal sector for voiceover. Does that make sense? Because a guy in Chikubu would come, have his ad, and you don't want to do it, so you give him a ridiculous amount, and then it's like, okay.
Wow.
And those guys pay cash, no LP or nothing. So it's a little bit different. Yeah.
But the former guys come with a
By the way.
Yeah, doing this, we want you and all that. Yeah.
So you also do local ads?
No, really, I'm picky.
Picky.
Yeah.
Because I've heard you talk about Chuko.
No. Some guys in Chico might have a school. Those guys are very, very rich. You know, they run the economy, right?
But
Yeah,
they
they-
do.
They
They hold
have,
the
a, they
organized
have a lot
economy.
of investments around. So it might not be for his shop because already people are going for his shop. It might be for our school and then what.
Yeah.
So, but I do measure the type of ads that I do. Sometimes when you reach a certain level where your voice is on different brands, so I can't do NBS MTN and then I be on Mukama Nayamba. But I will still I will still refer you to a voiceover who can actually do that type of thing. I don't just away stuff. I can be like, you know what? I cannot do that, but I can send it to this guy. You can talk to him, and maybe it will fit into your budget. That's what I normally do.
So my part is here. Like you're at campus, like you're getting that 50K. When did you realize and say, you know what? If I take this serious, almost serious.
Never took it serious.
Really?
No, I did take it serious, but I never took it serious. I did practice a lot. Because something a producer at it's called Sudi, is Wave Records. He has done most of the ads. If you hear his voice, he told me there's one thing to have a very nice voice; it's another to actually know how to use it.
Buzz as well.
Yeah,
Buzz.
and I'm like, oh, you're right. So he was like, you practice on your phone. So I used to practice on my phone. So by the time I come back to studio, I do one take.
Oh.
So I would practice on my phone. I had a candid those days. It was like, I think, a techno. So I would practice. I would voice over, down some apps, because you now have it in your mind. But remember, you're just exploring stuff as you go back to do accounting, you do computer studies and stuff like that. So in my mind, I was just riding the wave. Not until now I stepped out of campus, then I got a job and then stuff like that. I'm like, okay, now this is it. This is where God has actually destined you to go. Just fly.
So do you do accounting as well?
For
Right
my
now.
own personal company, yeah. For my own personal stuff. Because even when I was doing it at campus, even when I started it, I wanted to do it so I can understand how money works. I knew I would never do it. Yeah, because I want to know, because I don't want one day somebody to lie to me, this is how the numbers move. I know how the numbers move.
You first straight.
No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
I don't.
Okay.
So yeah, that's why. But right now I'm into marketing, passionate about it. But then that is like career-wise. But then fun hobby career that I would even do for free is acting.
Acting.
Yeah.
You know, you look like a character.
I just need to work out and develop a double packs instead of the one pack that I have.
Because you know, with this actor, just forgotten the name, he also does acting here in Uganda. Because I've seen him play on those movies of Power Magic. You kind of look alike. So,
Hassan. Yeah, most
that.
people say that. I do not see it, but
Really?
yeah, I don't.
You guys look alike.
But he's a cool dude. I've seen his ads. I know he influences for Aquafina or something like
He's a
that.
good guy.
Yeah.
Is that a brand?
Yeah, I kind of call myself Fcking Nekambuza. It's a mantra that I developed, I think after watching the originals or something. But it was something I watched, and I always used to say it a lot. And somebody said, so if I'm going to do something, or if somebody has done something and he thinks I cannot do it, I always say, I'm Fcking Nekambuza, I'll do it.
My God. Motivation, eh?
Yeah, so it's kind of like something that rocks into my mind. It gives me either to do it. It's like I normally say, if I agree to do something for you, I'll do it to my best of my abilities, because other people are going to see my work. They will not know if you've not paid me or not,
Proper.
because they will judge me. I always want to be judged. If I fail on something, let it not be my fault. Let it be the system that you put into place. But I would always give it 100. So what I normally do, because I always try to do the impossible mentally. So what I do is, I'm Fcking Nekambuza, I'll do it. Or even if I'm trying to be like, if a girl is disrespecting you, I'll be like, nah, I'm Fcking Nekambuza. I can't deal with this shit. So I have that. So most people saw me, like, I always say it. And somebody was like, you should make that a brand. And I'm like,
And you made a shirt.
I have like a couple of shirts that I have Fcking Nekambuza. No, I just wear it. They wear them.
Wow, it looks hard. I swear.
Though when I'm an actor, I will change the brand of, if I'm to do a clothing brand, because I always had that in my mind, it will be I can
I can.
Oh,
I can, yeah.
I can.
Do you know why? When you're in the mirror, it will read Neka.
Wow.
Yeah,
This guy, my
yeah, but yeah, I thought about it. Like after this, because most people are like, "Give me a shot, give me a shot." But then I'm like, "This is like my shot."
Yeah.
I'm like, if I am ever to do a brand,
Ah.
I cannot call it Neka because people don't want to buy names of people. They don't. But if I call it something, yeah, like if I reverse the name and call it I can. So but I'm wearing I can the same way I'm wearing. So I can and I can is kind of like vocally more appealing than Neka. But when you're in a selfie, the reverse, it's Neka. So I'll do that. Just.
So do you have challenges you face when you're doing a documentary or an advert?
Yeah, most people don't know. I have to stay away from getting flu, cough, stuff like that. Because when I get away from that, if I have flu, I cannot deliver to what the other person wanted. Because when they come to me, they want that particular voice, like that. But then another thing, cheap clients, they're always there. And they always come when you need money. So bad. Like it's so bad. Like, you know, jobs you kind of like brush away when you're normal, when you don't need, like, I'm putting over high standards. They kind of come like, festive season is here. You
need some money.
You need some money, like, then boom, they're around.
Wow.
And then, but some challenges, yeah. So it depends. It depends on the situation. Working challenges, those days power used to go off, but with a lot of technology, we have very more flyaway kits that we can record using. Those days you had to always go in an aesthetic studio and stuff like that. So with the amount of technology that's actually come up, it's recording is been more easy. Yeah, I would say clients who always have reverts, it gets to my nerve. It always gets to everybody's nerve. You always meet a client who would actually have like 10 reverts, and then you go back to using the very first ad or the very first voiceover you used. But that is like part of the job.
So, like, how is the negotiating part? Like, the person walks in, do they work in? Because I know there are some people that are not polite, okay? Someone will come, you know, will you work with me? Like, that talking stage, like when you're talking to a client, and
No,
how do you handle
depends, because most of the time the voiceovers don't need to talk to the client. The production house already who is producing has like a red card that voiceover is supposed to be paid and stuff like that. So when he gets the job, he'll just call the voiceover artist. So for you don't even meet the client.
So you walk in, you do the
work.
work.
You walk in, you already have your red card there. Yeah.
Then that is
so most of the time the negotiations are what that's the production house. But if you're established and then guys are but if you're established, apologies for that. I apologize for that. No, it's actually kinda and not. I don't know if I should talk about this or first finish the money part. But I'm going to talk about it so you can connect with the video. One, so unless you're an established voiceover and you're doing your own thing, then clients will reach to you directly. Because me, I'm on both levels. There's those studios that know how much I'm worth, so they will always just call me and then I go in. And then those studios I work for, regardless of no red card, because they were there in the beginning. So most of the time I work with them because we're friends, we're buddies, like we're on that level. So I don't even have to bother. But most of the time, because I've been a producer, most of the time the red card is already set from the agency, because there's a client, there's an agency, and then there's production house, and then there's you. Those are 4 layers of people. So for you don't even have to go through those negotiations. But there are situations whereby client wants you. You're the voiceover thing. Can you send me the VO? Oh, I'm a production house. I've never worked with you before. What's your red card? So it's different. Yeah.
So I've always thought those people.
Now let me first answer it. The ringtone comes from Super Strikers.
That was
beginning
my
part.
favorite, I swear.
You also seem like a guy that watches anime.
Yeah, I do. But I'm picky. I'm not a hardcore fan of anime, but I do watch anime. There is also that song. I've had it for 8 years. 2017. Yeah, I had it for like 7 years. The same ringtone. Doesn't matter if I have an iPhone or not. The reason why I have it, it's the beginning. You know what Shake says? I'm finally here. Then my heart is pounding. So it's also by other motivational things. Every time it rings. But also I'm the only guy with that type of ringtone. So if it rings somewhere, everybody will know like, yeah, the guy's come.
Just like me. Okay, so I've heard adverts, but I've always been thinking they are using autotune or something.
By the way,
because Okay, putting the face and the voice together, I'm just like wondering, like, I've always thought it was auto-tune.
Auto-tune like an AI.
Yeah.
Some guys are actually using AI recently.
Oh.
Some, yeah, and it's actually cool. The only problem in Uganda, most of the AI sound like white people, so they always have to redo
Oh.
it. There's recently an ad I did. It was for I think entire school, something like that. They had used an AI, but I think it wasn't coming out.
So it's
yeah,
cool.
so it sent me. But I always wanted to use AI. But the reason why is there are some AIs where you clone your voice and then I don't have to be in studio. So if you ask for an ad, I could just put it in the system and send it back to you. Yeah, so it's something I want them to perfect that and then I'll start using it because they're still in the testing stages. Yeah.
11 Lab.
Like,
Yeah, 11 Labs can do it, but it's not yet that clear. Revoicer does it, it's not yet that clear. But if you're using their international voices, it's okay, it's Kawa. But also, it depends on what you want. If you want them, you can use them. I'm cool.
but would that, like, AI affect
You line of
jobs?
Yeah, it does, but I think one voiceover doesn't fear that.
Wow.
Fcking Neka.
That confidence, I
Because
swear.
if you want fucking Nekambuza, you're gonna have to use fucking Nekambuza himself. But then also I know, like in the US, there are regulations to these voiceovers, and here, of course, government is actually also going to put up some regulations about using AI. Because in the US, that's why you can never find a documentary that is payable money, and then they use the AI voice of Morgan Freeman because they have that protection bit. So if you use it, you have to give them a royalty because you're using their voice. So that's why I'm okay. The more advancement and the more laws are in place, but I don't have to be there, use my voice, I still get paid. Like, if you want me directly, I'll still use it directly. So it's different.
So do you do adverts in Uganda?
Rarely, because I cannot read it. I can speak it, it's my mother tongue, but I can't read it.
I know it's hard to read.
I can't read it, and then you have to be in the mood. So my reading of Luganda is like I can't read a full sentence at once. That is the challenge. But I've done ads in Luganda, but mostly for one guy, Sudi. He says it and I say it. He always says it and I say it. Yeah, but that is on circumstances where I can. I wish I knew how to read it. I think I would have even made more money.
Wow.
But then it's also not good to be everywhere.
So there are
the other guys get that
some
money.
businesses you let go because you can't do Uganda.
No, I take the English part.
I think
Most of them.
Yeah.
Luganda is kind of hard because at times what we speak is not right.
Yeah, but then also Luganda, you have to translate. Like the actual translators. Yeah. Guys who are actually paid to translate to Luganda.
It's very hard. It's very
So
hard.
do you also have those bad days? Like, there's someday you wake up and you say, my God, I have to do this. Do you also have those days you wake up?
No. Well, depends. When work is too much, I have it because, like I said, I handle. I'm also head of brand and sustainability, so I have my meetings for meetings, and then you have a side hustle client who calls you, especially if non guys, we need you at studio now. You come what time? And then I like to manage time. So if I tell you 2, I always want to come at 2. So mentally, it affects me if I cannot make it at 2. So yeah, so those are my bad days when I cannot fit into the schedule I set in the morning.
At next media, then you also have some.
Yeah. So I have to run around and be like, can we do lunchtime? And then I go into a meeting that takes over into lunchtime, and then they have to wait for me after work. So that is I think is when. But being busy is good. I like it, especially if that means people still want you and business is gonna come in. Me just not being able to fit into people's time, that is the challenge.
Because there are days I also wake up and say, my God. So I just want to know, what is your motivation?
Fcking Neka.
Yeah.
What's the motivation that pushes you and tells you, you have to do this?
When it comes to voiceover, it's work. It's
Money.
It's money, side hustle.
Money.
Yeah, it's side hustle that is great. So I don't mind it. So when business is there, I'm always happy to actually be busy. But like all other jobs, that's why they give you a 21 month leave, whereby you get your days, because you have to unplug a little bit and then go back to the system.
You've talked about anime, and that has made me thought. Would you ever want to be like voice behind an anime character?
An anime character, not sure. But I always like those villains in animes. They're so great. They're so great.
By
They're so
the
great.
way, yeah.
The part I always wanted to play was Black Panther before they even made the movie. I don't know. BET had a short series of Black Panther way back in the day, and there's a way the guy used to say, "Get out of my way," and I used to like how it would sound, and I'm like, yeah, like that's the guy I would want to play. But I like always being the villain. Being a villain is so cool.
Really?
Do you know I always like play Thanos' lines? So I was like a dad. In time, you know what it's like to lose. And I'm like, yeah. You do that, and you're like, man. Like I'm the only guy who got sad that Thanos was failed on Endgame. Like I really wanted him to win, but I knew he couldn't win.
But
You know, he won in the first round, but then
It was beaten out.
Yeah.
Marvel.
But me at the end, I was like,
He
how the
tried.
guy buys
would you want to produce an anime here?
in Uganda?
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of guys do good work. I feel like if I'm to go back into storytelling, because I always wanted to be a writer as well, not a writer of anime, but a writer. Like I said, I like acting. But growing up, I grew up on a certain book that was made into a movie that I liked, and that is Harry Potter.
Oh,
So for us growing up from 2001,
You pause a bit.
battery.
Kill that mosquito.
That's frustrating. So,
No, okay, the mosquito now.
so sorry about that. You're asking me something.
Yeah,
how we would wish to produce anime in Uganda?
yeah. I've seen guys who are doing animes. I know this. I forgot his name. I've met him. I think twice. He the one who did the Disney thing together. It's called Mozina Moto something. I had a couple of different voiceovers on there. It was a very beautiful anime. I would want to write a book before, because I always wanted to write a book. I grew up watching Harry Potter. Yeah, and it was kind of like a movie that made me fantasize about writing a book. Like, because man, I was like, how did J.K. Rowling think about a new game called Squid Game? Like, everything around it. Lord Voldemort saying, I am Lord Voldemort. So yeah, and we have a lot of crazy stories that we can turn into fantasy stories. The only problem is when people start writing the stories of Africa, we always want to write them correctly and whatnot. Whereas we can actually also just go wild. If I'm reading a Lord of the Rings, none of that shit happened in
real
Europe. No. But they got a little bit of stories. Now imagine if I write the story of Chintu, but not necessarily talking about Chintu. Let me just name them a different name. And then create a characters around his story and then develop it.
By the way. So, like, how long have you done voiceover?
It's 2014. 2014. When was that? That was vacation. So, no, yeah, that was my vacation. So 2015, I was active. 2015. So
Wow, that's pretty long.
that is 9 years.
9 years in the
Yeah,
industry.
9 years.
That's long.
So 9 years in the industry, what would you say has really helped you, like, establish yourself as one of the best?
She's the best, not one of the best. Okay.
One, I would say being available. Yeah, because the more you're available every time they call you, especially when you're starting up,
Yeah.
you're respected, you're always called back again.
Oh,
Does that
being
make sense?
punctual, being there.
Yeah, exactly. And there's something Joel used to tell me that when we were starting out the studio at that particular time when I was a producer. So he was telling me, like, since you're new in this game, there are a lot of good guys, but you'd be the one to deliver very fast, faster than all your friends. Because the other producers were my friends. So yeah, being able to be available, because availability and being able to deliver, and always try to move with the flow. Because as a voiceover artist, you need to learn how to different variations of your voice. Man, nobody don't like to do hyped ads. I ended up doing hyped ads. You need to be very versatile. The acting, the what, because there's some ads that don't require an announcer like me, but they just require you to act out, especially Minister of Health, where you're like a dad, and stuff like that.
Wow.
But always look at other guys to get inspiration. And don't, because everybody's an actor, everybody can be a voiceover artist. Just work with the voice that you have. most people would always want to be like, okay, that guy has a deep voice, and then I'm
I
also going to
have
go
that.
into the studio. Yet you would have channeled your voice into, because some guys actually come and they like my voice, but that is not what they want for the ad. They want a maybe a low tone voice. A person is actually going to be more younger or something like that. So it depends on the ad. So I can maybe try to tweak it a little bit and make an Fanta ad. But from a marketing perspective, I would prefer a girl to actually do that and younger, like 16 and 15.
So
it depends.
At Nika Coins is good, but I'll look at the person that
No, you look at the product that you're selling, because every product is sold differently.
So that's also your marketing knowledge now.
Yeah. This is my marketing knowledge. Lucky enough, me I dabble around. That's why I say that I'm a multimedia marketing person.
Has your voice always been the deep?
It broke when I was in Form 3. That is 2010 for the World Cup. Yeah. No. Actually, I used to hate it at school because I was young and I had a very deep voice. It was coming up. It was deep. You know how you have variations as a boy, but now mine was like superly deep, and then you'd be like,
who is that?
So then I switched schools and HSC. That is 2012. And then when I was there, so you know how they introduce you guys and what. Now these guys had never had my younger voice, so for them they were experiencing the deeper voice. But now I was still young for a guy with that deep voice. So raise up my hand. I remember. So the school's called, let me just plug them in. Chado SS. So I raised my arm one day at the orientation, and then I speak and nobody could hear what I was saying, and then everybody laughed. So I always tended not to actually express myself because people would always end up laughing and stuff like that. But I did not know it was a good thing. And then fast forward, we go to some event, and then some ladies of start appreciating my voice, and I'm like, okay, this is actually what they're into. But yeah, it does come in hand with pitches when I'm pitching to clients. It comes well in getting females as well. Yeah, not gonna lie, it does come when
they fall for it.
Yeah,
You've got men.
No, I don't.
Speaking of females, anyway, let's continue on that. So if you meet a chick, what's this first thing you're like, nah, when you see something with her and you're like, no, this can't be my woman. One thing that throws you away.
One thing that throws me
off.
No, if you're not smart. No, not Jav, you're like smart in the head. Because me, that is you can be very beautiful, and I would appreciate you, because at the end of the day, I'm looking at you and seeing you for the first time, so I want to get to know you. So now, when I come to get to know you, and then you're visiting and all that, I'll be like, nah. You know, some girls you talk to and you're like, it's cool, we can be friends, and then you bump it and you bump out. Yeah. So for me, you might be very beautiful, but if I'm to take you seriously, it depends on how your brain functions. That's why I always want to meet them. But now, so currently I'm trying to see someone.
Well, I was going to go to that part. I thought are you father?
No, not yet.
I saw you with a ring. I thought she was engaged.
No. I love rings. I used to have 2 of them, but now I have this one. It's kind of like my trademark. I always have it here.
So you can't have more because of the corporate business?
That is one point, because I used to have them to run like this, and then at some point I started wearing suits, and then I was like, you know what, let me just you'll be like a drug lord, yet you're actually trying to be something else. So I was like, you know what, now let me tone down. But I like rings. I actually want to get another ring and put it here, because they told me here you're not married here in this one. But I want to always confuse my enemies, because I realize most people give you a little bit of respect just because they think you're married. But I've met a lot of married people who actually act like idiots, so I don't know where that came through. I'm not saying all of them. I've met some of them. But then I realized, you know what, there's a different respect. Probably also when you're negotiating, a bit like the guy has a family, give him.
I've heard.
But you look at them and be like,
I've heard.
So, but it's always nice to confuse the ladies.
Like when you're looking for a job nowadays, then they ask you, are you married? Like they want to see if you're responsible.
Yeah, responsible.
So you see, you walk in and you're not even what anything. They say, you're not serious.
Because but I understand why. Because if if you're ready to take care of a family, meaning you are able to take care of my business as well. So it's a perception that is there, but when you look at it in that angle, it's wrong, but to some extent is there, because also married people are not elusive. Like, they need the job.
Yeah.
Imagine if I don't have kids, I'm gonna get tired of you, I'll bounce. But if I'm having you and I know you need the job, my negotiations are completely a little bit different. So there's a lot of quoting in when it comes to that. Though I still believe I've met this generation. I met a lot of good guys who are actually married, and they do the amazing work, and they're very loyal. But like I said, those ones bounce at any particular time. But a guy who's married, you'll be there and you'll be like, now what if I go the other side and it doesn't work out?
So
whereas us, we'll be like, what if I go the other side and it doesn't work out? I'll still bounce back.
Oh, so meaning people that are married, they're also loyal to their jobs.
Kinda. I said that's the perception. Yeah. But no problem. I've seen guys who are actually married when they're young, and I'm happy for them. I have friends that contributed to, and I'm happy for them. I have friends that I know. I think marriage shouldn't be something forced by society on people. I think it's a mindset. Get married when you're ready. I have contributed to weddings that have lasted 6 months.
Wow.
Yo, bro, why did you make us do these things? And it happens a lot lately. So I feel like when you're ready to get married, by the way, I run a show on Next Radio. It's called Next Night Shift, where I talk about this stuff. It's basically more of a love type of show. But always marry somebody, one who's your friend. So even if you do the wedding, you guys already know each other. Because marriage is more of a symbolic thing, but you guys already know each other, live together and stuff like that. And marry when you're ready, not because my guy is married. It's always nice to get married when you're ready.
But also the women force it on kids.
Yeah, the whisper.
By the way,
they have a kid.
No, I think a kid is okay. If you're ready for the kid. Me, I started with guys who wanted the kid after campus, and they wanted the kid. Like, generally, they wanted to take care of the baby, and they have the kid, and it's what their passion is. If your passion is actually, this is the difference. Like, I was watching, there's some very, very intelligent guy. It's called Muhammad Katat, something like that. He does farming and stuff like that. Recently, he had an NSSF podcast going on, and talked about how some rich guys like going to golf. He likes going to the village and be with his animals and stuff. So, to be with on his farm. So he said we all view leisure differently. So that's what I'm saying. Some people like kids because of those various reasons. And some people just don't like kids. And it's okay. No, because you're not yet ready to be responsible. Because you don't want to be a deadbeat dad when you're not even taking care of the kids. Because some people think being a dad is actually, I'm able to provide school fees and moving on. It's beyond that now.
Actually, I think people rush into getting married at times.
Yeah.
No, but like I said, if you're okay with getting married, get married.
But I won't say rushing.
I had a friend.
No, but what I would say is just marry your friend. Not people now think, I look among my friends. No, like the person you're gonna get married to, you guys are bad days. Like, it's more of that romance stuff. But when you sit down and actually talk, you guys are actually friends.
Yeah. So as we wind up, we always have like questions.
Yeah, sure.
But today is 1st December 2024. Being WAWULIDDE Day, I would love you to like have a message to the people out there, the youth, and other people.
Protect yourself, always. And if you party too hard and you wake up and you're not sure if you wore it or not, it's what they call PEP. 30 days pill. They'll also put you in line to realize if I'm taking this particular pill every day, meaning if I have to take it for the rest of my life. So it's always easy just to actually wear a condom. Or if you're actually dating, to pass by the hospital, get tested, and they're actually now flyaway kits that actually test. Even there is an and then you can enjoy yourself. You're already old. You've been holding yourself back. So enjoy yourself, but test first, or always use a protection. And if it happens, go to a hospital, explain what happened, they will give you PEP. In some government hospitals, it's free. Some government hospitals, you actually have to pay for them.
Yeah, thank you for that good message. So, I think we can have the questions. Then we conclude the show. Who goes first?
You go first.
So, since the air is ending, What has been your greatest accomplishment? And then do you have any what are they called? New Year,
Yeah,
Resolutions?
resolutions.
New Year resolution.
Yeah.
Do you have any New Year resolutions for the next year? And if you had any this year, you actually do those.
One, I will go to. I would say something great has happened. Nah, nothing great has happened this year. I have had a change in careers. Not change in careers, basically change in different companies. I think that is something interesting and different that happened to me. Went back to doing radio fully, being on air. That is, I do my radio show from Monday to Thursday. And next radio 106.1 at exactly 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. We talk about love, life, and everything. Yeah. Now, New Year's resolutions. I don't believe in that shit. One, yes. If you're gonna do something, do it.
Yeah.
But I do have New Year's resolutions for my birthday.
Wow.
So when my birthday, May 20th comes, before it comes, I reflect back and I'm like, okay, because I don't believe in this calendar. It's a calendar that was produced by the Greeks and stuff like that. So literally, but I believe on my birthday, I was born. So that is when my cycle starts.
Yeah.
So every time before my birthday, I kind of like sit down and be like, what have I accomplished? Now I'm heading on and do this other year. My date is changing. I'm closer to my death more than yesterday because every day you're closer to your death. You don't know when God's gonna call you. And then I reflect, I'm like, okay, this is what I want to do for this year. This is what I'm gonna do for this year. But yeah, for the companies I work for, this year, the new year, since now I've settled more down, we're gonna do crazy stuff. We're gonna do crazy stuff.
But last year, though, there always you said that you got
He don't believe in that shit.
No. For my birthday, we're still continuing, we're still executing. I went back on air, so my birthday was in May, so I went back on air. So I'm trying to see how I finally put one of them was for people to know who I am more than the voice. I think the fact that I've grown so much on TikTok, I think I'm accomplishing that. So we'll see. So in the next 5 months, before May comes, in the next 6 months, I'll be able to answer that. But so far so good, because my resolution was for people to actually see who's behind
That voice.
that voice.
That's purpose.
I have one more, but it's going to go.
Okay, so have you ever been in a situation where a client has claimed your voice? You've did an advert for them, but they want to bypass you. They don't want to pay, and they claim that it's theirs.
No, they can never claim your voice. The only part is if they did not pay for that particular ad. I've faced a couple of those. I've threatened to sue some, and then they paid up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you do. Let me ask. You do you first do the audios, then they pay, or they first pay?
Depends on who you are. Yeah. Some people pay first. New clients always pay first. If you're a regular guy, like I said, you guys don't have to. If you're a voiceover, there are some agencies you don't have to actually be there because somebody already has the LPO. That's what they call an LPO. For those who don't know business languages and want a purchase order. So the purchase order is already there, so there's confirmation. So that you're gonna do the ad.
Okay.
So it's just waiting out the days and then they process.
Okay.
But there are those guys who actually just don't want to pay. And yeah, there's a time, but then me and my studio had to threaten that we're taking them to court, and then they paid even more. So it's a crazy journey. The only thing that the disadvantage in Uganda that I face, some guys call me and be like, "Yo, you're on every radio station." I'm like, "For real?" And they're like, "Oh man, you made this ad. And I'm like, "They're still playing that ad. I made that ad like 5 years ago."
Really?
Yeah. So some guys, some clients always, especially I don't know why. That many clients, man, you hear your ad that you did when you were so younger, you're like, "Wow, they repurposed this again."
That person maybe.
Yeah. So it happens a lot because of our copyright law issues. It's still a little bit rusty. Yeah, it's there, but it's still rusty when it comes to intellectual property.
So, by the way, we share the same month. I'm also born of May, anyway. But my question is, to a person coming through that career, they want to be a voice of artist. What is your advice to them?
Be close to studios. It's hard. You either, which is true, most people don't say, but it's hard to break through. But if you're very good, you can break through.
Because we had Debbie K, and she also mentioned the same thing. She's
No,
also one.
It's hard to break through, especially when starting out. Like all other businesses, you either have to be exceptionally good now or very out there. But the studios need to know you.
Oh,
Yeah.
so
And even if the studios don't know you, but you're exceptionally good, so they kind of look for you. But now, what I see, there's that girl who's she's in the competition of
Shout out to Yada.
Yeah, she has an amazing voice. I think somebody sent me her thing before even all of this. I think there was fight or something, but before this KFM thing started. But yeah, I believe she's one of those guys that I listen to and I'm like, I don't know, because I normally just naturally keep an eye out on new voices, especially on ads. So she was one of those guys that I listened to and I'm like, okay, this person is good. Before this.
It's crazy because recently, people auditioned for the Beast MVPs and she was a part.
Really?
And she wasn't selected.
No, because different brands, now I'll go back to this is not voicing.
Yeah.
Different brands are looking for something different. And it's not that you're not good. That's what I talked about. It's not that you're not good. But that particular audience at that particular time, they're not subscribing to you. So I cannot come and you know a guy called Edward Chwanka.
Edward Chwanka.
Mr. Google, sir. Yeah. So imagine Edward, because always doing ads, always influencing, now special and all that. Imagine Edward starting to do a rock boom. I know rock boom was so fast. Starting to do a Fanta ad. It doesn't connect.
Doesn't add up.
So I'm not saying is supposed to do a Fanta ad or what, but I'm saying at that particular point, the brand might not be looking for your specific character. You might be good, but not for that brand. And it happens a lot. If you're, what I would tell voiceover artists, you're an actor. Even presenters or what, you're an actor. The same way actors don't go into certain roles, not because casting roles, not because they're not good actors, but because at that particular time, either their age, like there are a lot of things that you don't consider that part. Yeah, but it doesn't mean you're bad.
Perfect answer.
Other question.
So yes.
So the whole conversation, I really noticed you're very confident. That's a thing a lot of young guys are really
Lack.
Is it like something you really read, like from a book? Is it something you watch?
But being confident.
How we worked on that.
You imagine everybody's naked. It actually works.
Okay.
Saying that.
Because I got that from a movie, but when I was young, it was actually as serious. It was a cartoon. But then growing up, I always had that, like, imagine everybody's naked. So it helps. But it's not it, but I tried it once. I imagined the people naked then.
Did you?
Yeah.
So when you walk into the
but yeah, you get nervous sometimes. But me personally, even when I was younger, I used to participate in a lot of school activities. So speaking to crowds has always been something that goes off easy for me. I don't know if that makes sense. Like it is something I've done even in high school. Like I would go into a club and then go debating and then go what. So for me, it comes off naturally. But I would tell people, yeah, being confident helps. Because somebody you might be smarter than the next guy, but the next guy might be average, but he can express himself.
properly.
And I've seen that happen a lot. Like a guy is like me, like literally when you go down to execution and what, you wipe him out. But he's able to talk where you shied away.
Very well.
Okay, I think we have it. It has been episode 9 with fucking
Fcking Nekambuza, you can say.
Fcking Nekambuza.
Yeah.
Anyway, before we wrap up,
Would
you have anyone you would recommend to have, like, to be next on WAWULIDDE the talk show?
Anyone. So looking through it. Oh gosh.
You could give him a call.
I don't know.
I've been here.
Recommend who would I want for him to sit here?
Yeah.
I don't know most of their stories. I've seen most of them, so but they will get to share with you WAWULIDDE. I saw Boogie here already. There's a young man, since you guys are also young.
Yeah.
I feel like he has achieved a lot and he has pushed the bar a little bit. Though he's standing to be an adult, but he's still a young man.
Those are the people you
Yeah,
want,
you
definitely.
should interview MC Olo. I'm sure he has a very
MC
beautiful
Olo?
story.
Oh,
He has a very
Shall we-
beautiful story.
Having MC Olo,
Yeah.
we shall give you that part also.
Oh,
Yeah.
Now, I won't promise he has a very busy schedule, but I can talk to him.
Yeah. So thank you for tuning in. That has been episode 9 with the big man himself, voice of an artist. Maybe as we close, you can even tell people.
Man,
Yeah.
you want me to give you a free drop? I'll charge you. But yeah, guys, subscribe to the channel. I don't know which channels they're on. Subscribe. WAWULIDDE, right?
WAWULIDDE THE TALK SHOw.
WAWULIDDE THE TALK SHOw. Right here on your screen. Bye.
Bye.